Lest there be any question, the best part of my life is Diane Land and my 3 strong daughter women who incidentally have put me, I think, in a great place to be dealing with the 7 strong women on our city council. It is great to be with you here today to join in honoring and celebrating the mission of the Anti-Defamation League. And we do that today by honoring 2 leaders who exemplify courage and compassion that help keep democracy healthy in good times and in tough times. Chief Justice Jefferson, I just want to say, sir, that it is comforting to be standing in front of you and the Texas Supreme Court knowing that I don't have to answer any questions today. And Catherine Morse, General Counsel for Samsung, who I had a chance to meet over the course of this last campaign and see how many different places in the community she's involved. The ADL is all about preserving democracy as well. And it does this by securing just and fair treatment for not only the Jewish people, but by its very written statement of purpose, written 100 years ago, to secure just and fair treatment for all people. Now, hopefully you know about ADL's work in tough times and tough situations, because it's there that the ADL's work is really critical. We hear too many stories these days about violent extremists, about violent attacks on people because of their race or their faith. And these stories are hard to hear, and we're eager to ignore them or forget them or to think about something else. But of course, violence can't happen without this ignoring and this forgetting. Because before the guns and before the bombs and before the terror, there are thoughts and there are words. You know, in Germany after World War I, most of the people were real decent people. They were reasonable. There were only a few extremists that crossed over the line. Only a few outspoken people who were demonizing others and talking seriously about ideas and thoughts that would later to develop into final solutions. But there were other people that were close to that line. They hadn't crossed over. And with each passing day, as the economy got tougher and people became more fearful, more and more of those people began to cross over that line. And no one spoke out, or too few spoke out. It was a tough time, and some folks were scared, and some folks were busy, and some folks were just indifferent. Some folks didn't notice. And because not enough spoke out, the line between what is right and what is wrong started blurring over, and it began to shift until a critical mass of people had crossed over that line, and then it was too late. At times like this, it is hard to speak up. It is hard to be the lone voice. Just think about the last time you were in a group of people and someone said a joke that might have led to a racial slur or an off-color mention. And what did you do? You're around friends, you're around acquaintances, it's awkward and it's uncomfortable. It is so much easier just to let the moment pass. And so often we do. But that's why ADL is important. They stand up to prejudice, they call out hatred, and they hold us accountable for the tolerance that prevents violence and the respect that nourishes democracy. And they do it daily, and they do it when it is awkward to do it, even when the transgression is small. Probably especially when the transgression is small. Make no mistake, we see too much real evil in this world, real threats to our freedom and safety. Many have become big, and some threats have remained small. but we can only stand up to them if we resist the fearful and lazy habit of demonizing people because they are different. That's why the ADL is important, and that's why Diane and I support it. But that reactive and curative role is not enough. We have to do more than just fight unjust discrimination. We've got to affirmatively build respect. We must work harder to actively include those who are left out and to bring more people to the table. We've got to clear a path for real justice. Now, in Austin these days, we're talking a lot about inclusion. We've just inaugurated a brand new city government and a brand new city council with district representation, one member from each of 10 districts. This is a huge change from the old days. And by old days, I mean last December, when the City Council of Austin, every person serving on it lived north of the river and south of 45th Street. We have new voices and new communities sitting at the table of leadership for the very first time. And a lot of people say it can't work. A lot of people say that such a diverse group of people won't be able to agree on anything and that we're going to end up with gridlock and with ward politics. That artists and families and longtime residents will continue to be priced out of this city, that traffic congestion will get unimaginably worse as our environment deteriorates. That simply put, Austin will lose its soul. I don't think so. You know, some of us see in this diverse group of people leaders as the only way to make real progress in this city. Because only by passing ideas through this furnace are we going to be able to forge the real solutions that can become durable solutions and move us forward. We just lost a transportation bond in this city election on what is perhaps the most important issue in this city. And I wonder if a contributing factor was that all parts of this community were not on our governing boards. We have got to host more inclusive conversations. And until we do, our problems will seem bigger than our ideas. And worse, we will begin to see each other as the problem. Which is not to suggest that any of this is easy. I'm finding that out now. I'm sure you can imagine 10 people from different perspectives, different parts of town, different assumptions and opinions, talking about pressing matters that relate to justice and quality of life and economic opportunity and how to pay for it all. There is no ready majority on our city council. For this council to reach a majority on any issue will require new coalitions across lines that have not often been crossed in this city. And this will put to test the innocent comfort of lazy generalizations, the understandable tendency to see things from your own front porch, to default to conversations that you've rehearsed, which is what you'd expect. But here's what you might not expect. We decided we needed to learn about Austin's challenges and opportunities. We set up policy forums, meetings as a council that we're engaging in. We read and we hear about experts and we discuss issues without any decisions to be made on the table. We have conversations. We learn about each other, where we come from, the strengths and challenges facing our constituents. These sessions are popular with the council, and they are now even more popular with the wider community. We're practicing with each other, listening and understanding, and we're building trust. We're discovering the shades of gray where inspiration hides. We're practicing connectedness, inclusion. So when the division, when the divisive conversations come, and of course they will be coming, that we're going to be ready and we're going to be stronger. We are trying to move from tolerance to respect, to not only recognize differences, but to actively seek to find value in those differences. This is the work of the ADL. The ADL protects minorities. The ADL protects us all. Without this conscience, as we've seen, democracy can degenerate. Free people can lose their humanity. In pursuing this mission, the ADL's spirit challenges us to build beyond tolerance, to extend ourselves to include those who are different, because that's where we'll find new insights, and that is the work of justice. Underneath our cultural skirmishes, underneath our fear and fascination with each other, is something deeper and more reliable. We need each other. And when things get tough, we need each other even more. We are stronger, better, smarter, and more powerful together. The work of the ADL, the example of the leaders that we are honoring today, is not just a matter of conscience. It is a reliable source of inspiration for the value that we are trying to create in our economy, in our government, and in our communities. It is the conversation that will sustain us. Thank you very much.